Hello, hello. Listen, today we're going to talk about all non-PS private practice. And we're going to ask really challenging question here. How to build a private practice when that doesn't depend on you showing up when you need a break, when you need a pause. And I'm gonna hit you straight at the get-go. It takes time, and quite honestly, what I've been talking about in my previous live streams, on my previous podcast episodes, Heart and Profit Podcast everywhere, Heart and Profit Podcast on YouTube. If you search for that podcast, that channel, you will find like the recent videos, recent episodes. Those are all the bricks that are required for you to actually build a private practice that doesn't require you to show up when you need a break. And today, this live stream, what we're going to talk about today, this is the critical component that if you don't have this component in your private practice, then in like technically none of the other stuff really matters, and when I say other stuff, I mean your specialization, your niche down, your marketing, your referral system, your like your specialty, your public body of work. And does it matter if you don't have this component that we're going to talk about today? And it goes just beyond the mindset. And this is more serious conversation than people might realize. And instead of just giving it to you like, hey, you need this, and like if you just need for a thing like this is self leadership, right? It starts with self leadership. And before you roll your eyes, like, I'm so self led. I'm a therapist. Like I've done the mindset work. This is where it catches you, right? This is where it catches you, and you in the hamster wheel. And then you're not living a life or building a practice that you desire. So I encourage you to stay with me because the most essential component, like when somebody comes to my world, this is my vision. I'm very practical person. So I have a lot of practical parts that like very rational, very like what we need to do, and the mindset will come later. But also, it's important to bring self energy. And when I say self energy, self leadership, self guidance, self trust, I'm referring internal family system, philosophy, and internal family. And if you're a therapist, you probably know what internal family system is, but like the short, really abbreviated version of this philosophy that we have self energy is our this core consciousness, right? This is who you truly are, and there are eight qualities of selves. What some of them, and I always mess it up, so I always need a cheat sheet, and I don't have a cheat sheet with me. Some of them are compassion, courage, calmness, connectedness, creativity, compassion. We almost done there. Compassion. What other two? Like drop in the comments what other two I'm missing. I'm always missing either one or two. Like that's just how my brain works. But this is the self energy. This is the self leadership. And when parts, we all have internal personality, internal parts of our mind. Our mind is a system. And uh, in therapy lands, we often use to this talk Okay, but like, where's that controlling part? Where's that reactive part? Where's that part that is not doing well? But also, when you build a business, self leadership, like, it's where your part's trusting you, trusting yourself, and also you can create a care team. You can create internal, like, I really like how Tammy in One Inside podcast, she's an IFS therapist, said she was interviewing another psychologist, and that psychologist said that when we operate as a community inside, like the self, the parts, and we all create this interconnectedness, then we can operate from the place of creativity, then we can operate from the place of joy, then we can create from the place of expansion. Now, I want, like, you might be wondering, like, okay, Eugene, like, this is great, but I'm building private practice. I would like to be either cash pay, or like I would like to see more clients. I get that. Like, what do I do now? Like, and this is the foundational work. This is something that I personally do, like, every single session when I work with clients, and this is new iteration of my program. By the way, this is something that I brought based on my experience with my previous clients. So for each session, it's like really bring the self energy to the surface, bringing the self energy to the surface, and then start diagnosing, what is missing. Because if you're running private practice, and especially if you decide to be um, private pay, if you decide not to depend on insurances, then you need to show up. Then your marketing has to be on top. So how do you show up in your marketing? And like in your marketing, it's all about messaging. It's all about connecting with people at their level of like customer awareness. But also, here's one hidden part that no marketing guru will tell you, and you know it as a therapist. If you don't show from the place of self, and if you in your marketing, in your content, in your public body of work, you a part of you that is reactive, that is anxious, that is controlling, is showing up. If there's so much parts showing up in your marketing, in your public arena, and you're not acting as self in your marketing, because therapeutic relationship starts in your chair, but also like when clients come to you. But also, like, if if you're not able to be that self element in your marketing, in your public, from the public eyes, uh, you're not connected with the self of your future clients. So it sounds a little out there, but this is essential. This is why when you look at some of the therapists who are marketing like online, and it's not connecting. And it's not just therapists, it's like every entrepreneur ever. Like your internal system, your psyche, your mind can feel it. Like, ooh, she is like anxious. Ooh, she needs a sale right now. Like, I can't really explain that. And I've been running my business, and I know when I show up like that, I always activate people in the wrong way. When my reactive part, when the scarcity part shows up, when um, the parts that are hyperactivated show up, I always activate people in the wrong way when I show up like that. And it always happens like clockwork. So, when I work with therapists, so This is why it is essential to bring self energy every single session. And then we start working on like, okay, what is the marketing effort? Like how we building a referral program because a lot next week I'm gonna talk about how to build no pitch referral program when you don't have to pitch to doctors' offices to other providers, but you like you kind of create this like really environment where people come to you, right? And that like you, but before you approach that physician, before you approach that provider, you have to act from the place of self energy and from the place of self guidance. So this is one of the most essential parts, right? And the most essential points. So, referral system. Then, referral system alone is really, really great. It's really, really great. But also, like optimization of your website. And I think I had that part in me too. If you are a therapist, you might be thinking like, "Oh, I'm not technical. Oh, I know nothing about websites. Like I'd rather hire somebody." And I'd rather you hire somebody because you are not a web developer. And but when you hire somebody, like how do you know that they're doing a good job? And this is what I bring to clinicians after gosh, working in tech 10 plus years. I'm not a website developer. Like I'm not doing your website. I can help you with your website with SEO, with optimization. I can tell you what things or components need to be there. I'm more than happy to work with your web designer, by the way. Like, if you are this therapist who already has a team of trusted advisors, I'm more than happy to work with your if you're running ads I'm more than happy to work with your team. I'm more than happy to work with your strategists because you know like there's one thing once you know just AI, and a lot of people learned AI like a couple of years ago when ChatGPT came out, but like not like a lot of AI experts out there, like the vast majority of them, they don't know how to code. If they look, and I run from the inside out, right? I work on a deeper level, so I can work with your strategist on that website specifically. Then it comes to your public body of work. Also, like how like we all know that life is happening, right? So you might get sick, you might not be able to see clients for like some period of time. You might life is lifing. So what does it mean for you? It means that the therapy alone may not be the only thing that you need to like offer in your business, that you need to sell in your business. And also like the whole thing, like creating an asset for yourself, creating your business, your private practice should be an asset for yourself. Yes, you are helping people. Yes, you are making difference. And if you are and this is this is a mindset shift too, like adjusting your prices, charging more premium fees. And charging more premium fees is absolutely ethical. If you're offering elective mental health services, you're not working in a crisis line. You're not working at community mental health service because, like, if you are an owner of community mental health, if you work with like Medicaid, Medicare, you work in the public sector, and you are like this is a little different form of business, right? Like it's just you have different payees, right? And even then, like when I work with let's say when I consulted with a nonprofit, they had levers that they can actually pull money in. Like they have different business entities, they have different business components, they offer private pay for clients who are not on Medicaid and Medicare, but they would like to have accesses or they have access to the services that we provide. And we have packages of like they have packages of services. But again, like that was all about like, okay, if you're working with a private pay, it's private pay. And then, like, none of those services were emergency services. It's not that somebody is in crisis, and you tell them like, "Hey, you gotta pay me like $600 for a session to be out of crisis." No, like this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about elective mental health services where, like high functioning professionals, high functioning people like myself will go and look for a therapist because like if I'm not in crisis but I know that I need to work um, um, on stress management, on uh, adaptive adaptiveness is a word. Like how do I adapt to rapid changes in the environment because I'm human, y'all. Like I don't have all of that figured out, and like just as everything affects everybody, it affects me. And when I go out there and I look for a therapist, like best belief I will choose a therapist who has healthy money story and is not afraid of charging premium fee, whatever premium fee means for them. I will not work with a therapist who thinks that like all rich people are uh, the only source of evil on the planet. That we should get rid of all the wealthy people, and this is how we solve mental health crisis. This is and just like this is just simply not the reality. After working in many industries, this is not what I see. When we have more conscious leaders, when we have more conscious therapists out there providing quality service for like at their need for and deep transformational experience, this is how we make a world a better place. And that is it. So marketing and messaging, adjusting your fees, because this is something, this is like the money story, the money piece is something that I'm particularly proud of, because when I worked with subject matter experts like tech consultants, um, brand strategists for products, like physical products, how to get them in a store. When I worked with business consultants, and business consultants were my clients, raising like the fee portion is important. And listen, it's not just therapists who struggle with the fees. It's like it's everybody. And and also diversification, because one thing that I would like to bring to therapists or show what is available to them when you have private practice, when you have your clients coming to the door, when you have your schedule like filled up and full, maybe there is a component, maybe there is an offering that can free you up from just chair work. I know a lot of therapists who do other things in their in their business. I mean, talking about workshops, talking about speaking on stages, talking about running podcasts, talking about consultation, talking about group components, talking about coaching too, because we are so fast and quick to cancel coaches on threads, but also I love seeing when like therapists offering coaching components in their practices, because it is not everything has to be sold in a container where like this is in a therapeutic container. Like therapy by itself, and it is an amazing tool to get people better. But as any treatment, therapy can be not can't it's not 100% safe, and it's not 100% viable for every single client. And for your clients who will benefit from coaching, like coaching can be done differently, and you can charge uh, for coaching also differently, and you like it's just a different levers that you can pull absolutely 100% ethically into your private practice as an additional source of income. And it can be transformational, it can be soulful, it can be this beautiful thing that you're building, right? It can be group therapy. So, income diversification. So, and this is and this is what I do in my coaching containers, bringing self energy most and foremost. And this is why I say none of this matters if you are dysregulated, if you are in a constant state of stress, if you are in a constant state of reactivity. Ain't gonna work. You have to regulate yourself. You have to bring more self energy, and it's also not for everybody. Entrepreneurship is hard, and um, it's like you don't have to do it, but if you decide to do it, if you decide to do it, you spend so much time, so much effort in your education to help other people, not to harm other people, then I do believe that your business deserves this type of attention because this is not something that we learned in school. Like my background, like I went to school to be a psychologist. I went to school in Moscow, Russia. I graduated as a with a specialty of special psychologist, and it's a new it is a new branch of like study. It's when they combine the clinical psychology, special education, and like basically help people with like and it is a clinical psychologist for people with special needs, and within that you can choose further uh further niching down what is your specialty. But nobody taught me how to run a business. Nobody taught me how to run private practice as a skill, and you deserve to be supported. You deserve to build with somebody who can be by your side. And by the way, what I am offering and what I am putting out there, it is first of all, it is one-on-one services. It is not a group service, right? It is one-on-one services. It is $3,000. It is for 6 months, and I am building side by side with you, side by side with you. And this is really personal for me because the why I'm doing this, right? Because I work with a lot of subject matter experts, consultants. Why am I decided to focus on therapists in 2026? Because it is a part of my story, and also I will be bringing like things that work for in my private practice as a hypnotherapist. It's I know hypnotherapy is a little different. It's not the same as regular psychotherapy practice, but a lot of things like referral marketing, how do we market, um, I next week I will be bringing some of the insights from my brand new YouTube channel where I talk about to my audience for hypnotherapy services. And we're gonna look at the numbers all together, and we're gonna learn together. And it's a public body of work. This is the messaging and positioning part. And now, if you're looking for a business advisor, if you're looking for help, if you're looking for a mentor, a coach for your private, to grow your private practice, or maybe expand your private practice and different components to your private practice, help with the marketing aspect of it, help with like with the tech in your business, right? Like when you understand that you need systems and you need tech, but the thought about that you need to somehow learn or understand technology without any help, like that gets you panicking, don't panic. I spent in tech 10 years, and like, trust me, the transition was kind of difficult, like from behavioral health to like high tech Fortune 500 companies. I got you. Like your business, like listen, if I was able to work and help Fortune 500 companies in healthcare, Providence, CareRev, I can help you. And like all of the lessons, right, that like big companies like Aetna, um, again, Providence Health and Services, like what they're implementing there for their services, like a lot of things can apply for private practice too. And not a lot of business coaches have that experience where they like work in, like witnessed lived experience working with big big businesses. And big businesses, what they really get really right is the fundamental foundational pieces that works for them really well. This is why they're able to make millions with an M dollars of money. And then again, like we can talk about healthcare system like all day. And there are a lot of things, there are a lot of pieces that need to be fixing, but like a lot of things you can implement in your private practice right now. And um, when you have those foundational pieces that will work for you. Again, if you are looking for a coach, for a mentor, reach out to me in the DMs. I would like to talk to you because like it's $3,000. It is a founder rate. I only work with three therapists at a time because I'm running my own private practice. I need time for that. I do consulting work. I need time for that. But also, like, I have huge passion and huge calling to help other therapists to be profitable and build private practices that actually sustainable. Because in this environment, in this climate, we need you. People need better therapists. All right, this is all for today. Stick around for next week live stream. So next week, I'm actually going to go live 3 times, and we're going to talk about like what we're going to talk about. Like next week, we're going to talk about um, no pitch referral system. This is something that if you build a referral system, like literally, like I don't know, like click, follow, stick around. It's gonna be on Heart and Profit podcast. 100% on YouTube channel. If not on the podcast, it's going to be on YouTube channel. Then I'm going to show you the YouTube channel, my new brand new YouTube channel as an asset. I have early signals. And if you're a therapist and you understand that you need to do marketing and you like video and you like talking to camera, and it's just like, like these are threads, shorts, reels. This is not working for me. I have too much to say. I'm gonna show you something. And on the third piece is if you're thinking about working as a private pay therapist, and we're gonna have a little bit more nuanced discussion. Why it is actually ethical for certain therapists not to be on the insurance panels and only take private pay only clients. Why it is an ethical clinical decision for therapists. So that's next week. So next week is going to be super good. So join me, and if you need a business coach, mentor, or a person who will be there for you and help you to build private practice side by side, hit me up